Welcome to Peiwen's Note. Today we have the young and talented cellist Gautier Capuçon. Hello, Gautier.
Hello.
It's really good to see you again in New York City.
Yes, after Taipei.
Yeah,
last
and
time.
was it like 5 years ago?
Probably, time's flying.
Oh my God! I remember you came to Taipei, Taiwan, performed a beautiful Chinese modern piece.
Chigang Chen, who's a fantastic composer, and we know each other since many years actually. And I love his music because he's, of course, he's Chinese, but he also lived almost half of his life in Paris.
Oh, in Paris!
So,
is that how you know each other? And
yeah, we met in Paris the first time, and so he's really like a bridge for me between the two
culture,
the
right?
two cultures, and his cello concerto Reflet d'un temps disparu is such a poetic and sensitive piece. I love performing it.
I was very impressed to listen Gautier play the Chinese concerto 5 years ago or 6 maybe, and I was sitting very close to him. I was so surprised that Gautier memorized the whole thing. I don't know, how did you do it? It's a modern piece.
Practicing.
Okay, and I'm so excited to announce that we are actually at the backstage with Gautier Capuçon again, and he's gonna have to play the concert in 2 hours. Would you like to tell me what we play tonight?
Yes, so we are very excited together with Peiwen Wang to be here at Carnegie Hall. We are on tour now since a week with a new program that we're going to record actually from tomorrow on. We're going to record in Toronto for our last concert. And the program of the recording is going to be Chopin, Polonaise Brillante, Chopin, Cello Sonata, and Franck Sonata. But tonight we play a different program at Carnegie Hall. We play Chopin, Polonaise, Franck Sonata, and the fantastic Rachmaninoff Cello Sonata. So we are very excited to be here.
I am very excited. As a matter of fact, I didn't plan to bump into Gautier Capuçon this trip. I'm just here visiting my old friend from Juilliard School. We're having a huge reunion. And I am a big fan of yours. I also have your album playing Rachmaninoff Sonata several years ago.
Thank you.
And may I ask you that the CD, it's called Intuition, right?
Yes.
That one is such a beautiful album. Every single piece is just classic.
Yeah,
would you like to talk about your album?
It was an idea that I had since a long time to present a recording. Of course, it's small pieces, and some of them are pieces that everybody knows, but it was to present pieces that are dear to me and pieces that I've been playing since really my youth, when I was a little kid, like Saint-Saëns, The Swan, or Thais, Meditation from Massenet, and to also present some new pieces that the audience might not know. I'm thinking about my friend Jérôme Ducros, a fantastic pianist and also a composer.
Is it the one you record, the Schubert?
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
So the different pieces, but all have a different meaning to me, remembering me some youth moment, childish from the childhood, or some more recent moment. And I'm actually thinking of doing a second volume of small pieces, because I enjoyed actually so much doing it, and I have the feeling also that the audience liked it very much. So
we like it. We love it.
I might do a second volume.
Please do. But I have a question. The video, the main video that you're playing in the top of mountain, where is it?
That's actually that became. This story came really like this by talking. There is first I should tell you about Maurice Baquet. I don't know if you know about him. He was a cellist. He passed away a couple of years ago.
Yes, Maurice, the older.
Maurice Baquet, and he did lots of pictures with Robert Doisneau, and actually some pictures they did here in New York. There are some pictures of Maurice Baquet taken by Robert Doisneau in New York City. And he was a fantastic cellist, he was a fantastic artist, comedian, and he was also an alpinist. Yeah, climbing in the mountains. And I was always a big fan of him, and doing things with my cello a little bit outside of the classic concert hall circuit. And one day he called my parents, and he said he wanted to meet me, so my parents gave me his number.
How old were
at
you
the
then?
time, I was 20, and at the time, unfortunately, I was going on tour for very long. I didn't have kids at that time. And when I came back, and when I finally called him back, unfortunately, he passed away. So I never got the chance to meet him. And well, I thought I really believe that things happen in life for a reason. So maybe it was not meant to be that I should meet him. I don't know. But since that day, I also started to do things with my cello. And then I come to this story.
Okay.
I told a friend of mine one day, I would love to take my cello up to a glacier and like in the Mont Blanc and take some pictures. And this friend tells me, no, but you know, we have to make a video clip there. No pictures, a video clip. So here we are with another friend of mine, a helicopter pilot, and we all go on top of this mountain. And we did this.
Which country is it?
It was in Switzerland. And we did this video clip with the Swan of Saint-Saëns. I must say it's amazing because being there, surrounded with the mountain, almost alone on this mountain, and at more than 3,000 meters.
And what temperature was it?
Oh, it was
really
minus
cold.
15. I was
but
really
did you bring your Goffriller, or
no,
is a substitute cello?
I brought another cello. But now,
that's what I thought.
But now every time I play the Swan, if I close my eyes, I can feel
the image,
the cold. I can feel the snow, and I
temperature.
find myself back on this mountain. I mean, it's a fantastic souvenir.
That is an amazing story. I also know you played piano very well. You played jazz piano. Want to tell us about how old were you when you first
The piano was
piano?
My second instrument, and I started the cello at 4.5. I started the piano around 7 years old, and I always loved the piano. It was always my second instrument. The cello was always the first one. But I wanted to play piano because I loved jazz, and I wanted
I love jazz.
I wanted to acquire technical enough technique to be able for me to learn jazz piano, but unfortunately I didn't pass and then study jazz. So I hope one day I will take the time to learn just for myself because I love it.
Is it as a school requirement?
No, it's just my own way.
But any of your parents are musicians?
My parents are not at all musicians. No, they just they discovered music.
They love music, I guess.
I have an older sister who's 10 years older than me, and my brother 5 years older. My sister used to play the piano, and they discovered the music in a French festival in summer, and then we went to concert. And so my parents are not musicians, but I'm born and raised in a musical family. In a way.
Exactly. So who picked the cello like you did?
No, actually they offered me the cello because apparently I played violin for 1 month but didn't like it, and they gave me the cello. And the cello for me, the first time I took this cello was for me something really extraordinary. It was in a way it was meant to be. I don't know. I took it. Of course, I didn't know how to play it.
You were only 4 years old.
But I could feel it was already my instrument. My eyes were sparkling, and I loved it from the first moment. You know this. I mean, you know how it is. Of course, this physical.
You hug the cello, right?
Physical contact and connection. Of course, at 4.5, you cannot express with words, but you feel, And what I felt with this cello from the first moment was extraordinary.
So that's it. You knew that that's gonna be your major.
Yes.
And I'm wondering, is it okay to ask? Do you have a favorite composer?
No, it's always a difficult question. It's like asking for a favorite author or book or a movie. I mean, there are of course many composers that are my favorites, but right now I'm of course a lot into Robert Schumann, because my last recording, which just came out, is all around Schumann, with the Schumann Cello Concerto with the Chamber Orchestra of Europe and Bernhard Haitink. And the 3 piano pieces, Fantasiestücke, Volkston, and Adagio Allegro, are the 3 of them recorded with Martha Argerich. So, of course, for me, this recording was very important. Everything was done in live, and
live.
It was extraordinary to be, of course, able to record with such incredible artists. Bernard Haitink, I played with him for the past years, and so lucky that he's performing and trusting an artist like me, and this exchange, I learned so much. And of course, Martha Gesch, we are playing together since now 18 years. I think the first time was in 2001 with Martha. So
you were just a little kid when you first started.
So this recording for me was also very important. And now, of course, I'm into Chopin, Franck, Rachmaninoff for tonight.
Yes, tonight. I can't wait to hear you play Rachmaninoff Sonata tonight. Well, what advice do you have for the young musician out there?
Well, I think as a young musician, first we have to follow our instinct and what we think. We have, of course, a period which is very important when it depends how young is the advice, but as a kid, I think the most important thing is to have pleasure with the instrument. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have to practice, we have to learn solfège, and sometimes it's maybe not as fun as we would wish, but solfège can be fun at all. And it's like learning to read. We have to learn the name of the notes before we can play a nice and fun piece. So we should really always remember that playing an instrument should be a source of pleasure. And then there is the time, of course, when we grow up, we're still young, but between 10, 12 and 20, and those years are very important because those are the years that we build, of course, all the technique, and it's like building a house. You have to have really strong stones. Every stone needs to be strong and solidly put together, that the house is really stable. And so those years are very important. But I think, of course, talent is something, but then practice, like in any areas of life, without practice and without work, we don't have anything. So practice. And then pleasure, because music is about sharing something. It's about giving, of course, showing yourself, putting your soul and your heart into the music that someone wrote, but it's sharing with the audience, with an audience if you do a recording, but it should be, you should have pleasure in this feeling. So this notion of pleasure, I think, is very important.
I agree with you.
And I think also trust in yourself, and it's not always easy, of course, to present yourself on stage, or when you're young, you experience the first time, but really remember this pleasure and this trust on yourself when you learn something and you want to show it.
I have another funny question. Since you travel from Paris to New York, or especially if you travel to Taiwan, will you ever have a jet lag problem when you fly to?
Well, of course, jet lag is one issue that we all experience when we travel a lot, and of course the body has to take this different change, which is not very normal for the body when you do that often.
Exactly.
So I'm lucky to cope the jet lag very well.
Wow.
But of course, when you go from Europe to Asia or to America, and then you have to play the next day, of course the body is still jet lagged, so sometimes it's not easy to, if the time difference is night for you in Europe and you have to play, but once again, the energy you put in the music is, even if you're sometimes tired before or it's not the right time, the energy you can find inside the body is it's miraculous sometimes. How on the moment of stage you find the resource inside to get this energy to play, and it's quite extraordinary.
So maybe just one shot of coffee and then you're on stage again.
No coffee, never coffee.
You don't drink coffee?
No, never. I love coffee, but never before concerts.
Oh, because it's going to be too...
You don't want to put extra excitement in your hands.
Oh, then just, how about 2 sips and then that's it. Oh, that's wonderful. And since you have 2 beautiful daughters, you ever play lullaby for them before the bedtime?
Oh yes, of course they know all the cello repertoire by heart. The other day I was at home and walking to the kitchen, and then suddenly I hear one of my daughters singing Tchaikovsky Rococo.
Oh, singing! How?
I said, why are you singing the Rococo? I'm not even practicing it at the moment. She said, oh no, I love this melody. I just wanted to sing it. So it's so sweet.
That's beautiful.
Of course, they love it, and they've been crawling around the cello since they're born. So for them, it's something very, very emotional, of course, and very friendly.
Maybe this girl's going to become an opera singer one day.
We'll see. They both play violin and cello, but once again, for pleasure.
And I know you have very busy schedule traveling all over the world as a soloist, but you ever find time to teach when you're at
I do.
home?
I did build a cello class in Paris at the Fondation Louis Vuitton. So it's a very, very special program that I'm very proud that we were able to realize it. And my idea was to make a program which is for students who finished already and graduate from a big school, which is Carnegie Juilliard School, or Curtis, or Paris Music School, London, Berlin. And you know, when you finish, you want to work. You're suddenly outside in the professional life because you finished the school, but most of the time you still need some advice, and of course we always need to work. All the life we work, but the work is getting transformed over the years, and you learn how to learn by yourself, actually. But most of the time this break is really sudden from a moment to the other one. And so for me, this class is also a kind of transition from the end of the schools to the professional life. And so we have 6 sessions a year.
Oh, 6.
Where we, of course, for 3 to 4 days. So at the end of the year, it's almost like a normal cycle. We spend 25 to 30 hours together.
Wow.
So it's a lot. And of course, we work on cello repertoire, but also we try to talk about all the things which is around and which they will be confronted as professional musicians, and which can be many things, talking about the stress of going on stage, how to meet concert promoters, and how to perform, how to record. I mean, all those questions that we don't necessarily always know with whom we can talk about it. And it's also a program which is for all the cellists around the world. So 6 of them are chosen every year.
Wow,
and
only 6, right?
It's really like
that's very difficult to get in.
Like a little family. It's really incredible for me. It's very emotional to work together through this year, and having this amazingly talented young kids who come from all around the world, and they meet together, and we share so much, of course, about the music, but it's also a very personal way and approach of basically learning together. And I think everything is an exchange. Everything is sharing, and giving them also the opportunity to perform every session at the beautiful Fondation Louis Vuitton, which
I saw
is
it on
made
YouTube,
by Frank Gehry. So this building,
that's a beautiful building.
We are so lucky to be able to work in such conditions. Yes, it's absolutely stunning.
Maybe one day I could interview there in the building.
Absolutely.
And I want to.
You're most welcome to interview them and to talk about them.
No, you.
No, them, about them. It's important.
So you say how many years you've been doing this?
This is the 5th season. So we're going to start the 6th season in September, and auditions will be, I think, in October.
October.
All the young cellists who wants to apply.
But you only pick 6 people. That's very difficult to get in.
Yes,
they had to be super talented, and they're going to be the next.
But it's a great opportunity.
Wow, that is amazing. I understand, Gautier, you use a Goffriller, right? Would you like to tell us about your cello?
Absolutely.
And what year was it made?
Matteo Goffriller from Italy. So it's Venetian school. So that's, for people who don't know, there are two most known schools. Of course, Cremona with Stradivarius, that everybody knows, and Venezia for cellists is very important because it's Domenico Montagnana and Matteo Goffriller. And my cello, Matteo Goffriller, was made in 1701.
Where did you find it?
It's a really incredible cello that I'm lucky to play now since 20 years, and which was at the time it was lended to me by a sponsor who gave me the possibility, the opportunity to play on this incredible cello, and of course it's a big cello which needs a lot of work on it, and you really, it's an instrument that you really need to know to make it sound, and it's fascinating. I mean, I could talk about it for hours, but just one thing which is incredible with such an instrument is that still after 20 years, every day when I'm searching for colors and different, I still find new colors on this cello. So it's
that's amazing.
It's kind of an endless work and discovery every day, and this is really miraculous.
Wow. So so what string do you use? Larsen? Do you use the?
I play all Larsen string.
All four of them,
because
right?
I think that
they match well with your beautiful Goffriller.
Lauritz Larsen is an incredible, of course, string maker, but he's first of all a musician, and he's a player.
He's a musician.
Himself. And
is he a cellist?
I know violinist. I know him since many years now, and we work together in the process of the strings, and he's always searching to find also new colors, and he loves this contact also with musicians, and that's why that's Danish. That's why I think also his strings are, for me, extraordinary and the best, because he's always in the research and the process of researching how to make it sound better. Is it better, or is it more? Is it warmer? Is it more adapted to modern concert halls? I mean, it's fascinating, and yes, it does match with my cello extraordinarily. But I think its strings are fantastic.
I use the whole Larsen for 4-string too.
Yeah, great.
I used to use the lower button like a Wolfram, but then I switched to. Well, thank you so much for your precious time.
Thank you so much.
And I'm looking forward to your Rachmaninoff Sonata tonight. I hope to see you in the near future again.
Thank you, with pleasure. Thank you.